Well, hello. Here we are, back in Connecticut at, this is my studio space location. What do you call it? Baby workshop. Becky's boudoir workshop. Out on the road. Something I missed more than anything was being here. This place was my little baby. I gestated it, I birthed it, and then I handed it off to a very good friend of mine. That's her dress, actually. And she operated the place for the almost 2 months that we were on the road. Come say hi, Nuggie. Come on. Come on. You're going to sneeze at me, but you can come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. Nugget wants to say hello. I'm sure she's happy to be back here. She's so good on the road. But there's definitely times where like I could tell she was over it, like, you know, not comfortable in the car as much as she could have been probably. So I gotta come up with some solutions for that, maybe. Yeah, I've been like kind of really dying to do my next report. Welcome to the Jane Reports on how the trip went, what we did, what happened, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the better, and the just okay. You know, some things like are just okay and moving forward with them. So kind of working backwards, we pulled in today around like 10 a.m. Boy, is there a giant headache happening at my apartment that I was subletting. And this is, you know, why landlords do things official and find tenants that aren't their friends and have signed contracts and things like that. You know, some belongings of mine have been misplaced, broken, just in complete disarray. You know, a friendship is lost, faith is lost, you know, in some regards of like the goodness in people, as like, you know, I opened this opportunity, you know, it helped me, it helped them. It's supposed to be mutually beneficial and could offer growth, and then just kind of turned out the way it did. So can't say I didn't see it coming. Just like I have to figure out how to stop not listening to myself. And along this trip, that's something that I kind of really started doing a little bit more of, was listening to me, like listening to what I was feeling, what my intuition was telling me, you know, really trying to decipher the best right decision, which can be hard for me sometimes. Oftentimes I know the right decision and I just completely blatantly fucking think magic will happen if I disregard it and do the exact opposite. So I'm learning to do a little bit better in that way. Working backwards, we were last in St. Augustine, which was a really cute little town. St. Augustine had some areas on I-Overlander to park. You know, a couple 24-hour gas stations for those that aren't self-contained like myself. And it was a really cute, kitschy town. Like, it had like tiny streets with like bricks, almost like cobblestone. It had like really like beautiful early American, like Spanish inspired architecture. If you're a history buff, there was like history stuff flooded throughout the town. There's the national park, there's the Ripley's Museum, Ripley's Believe It or Not. There's tours all about the city. Tons of educational stuff for the kids. Apparently it's where like Ponce de Leon found the fountain of youth that he was never looking for, but discovered when he found, you know, the local peoples were so healthy after drinking these spring water, so he must try it and drink and live long too. If I could have done one more thing, it would have been visit the well, and because you could like fill up your water bottles and take that with you. And look at that kid. I did that with the water at the hot springs, and like it's crazy. Oh, um, oh, get my nose. Look at those teeth. At the hot springs, like I was drinking the hot spring water. Why do you keep saying that when I say hot springs? Not like I was feeling hot. It was crazy. Like I was feeling the heat from the water, even though it had cooled down. It was like bizarre. But we did do a really fun day at a beach over there. I can't tell you the exact name of the beach. I could look it up. But when we were in St. Augustine and we parked in this one spot that we saw on Overlander right by the bay, we went across the bridge from the bay and we took a left to go north because that's the direction we were going to be headed. And somewhere along there was like a overpass, a pedestrian overpass, and it led over to the beach. There's parking, bathrooms, shower, beach. And I bet you that shower doesn't turn off at night. Ah, man. That was worse than Key West. The showers turned off at night, except for one, apparently. Message me if you want that info. Because, boy, do I can't wait to get back to Key West, to be honest. That is, like, such a fucking high on the priority list. Like, probably in the fall. When it's a little bit cooler and hopefully a little less buggy, or maybe, who knows. I don't know if it's ever less buggy there, but more provisions for bugs, I guess. But basically, we were in St. Augustine because we had taken an exit off the highway because we were hungry, and we didn't exactly feel like waiting the hour that it was going to take to get down to Daytona Beach, where there was good looking Jamaican food on the menu and like a couple other options. I had remembered that I'd been wanting to visit Culver's for a while. So I had redirected in a rather quick way. Yeah, there's something in your fur there, puppy. And so we went from, going further down the road to stopping at the very next exit. And when we got off that exit, one of my tires went flat, and it was my front left. I had seen it like starting to bulge out a little bit on the sides, like the PSI was right, but it was like bulging. And I asked the fella at Walmart when I got my second oil change of the trip. That was been fun, fucking unexpected thing. I didn't expect to need so many oil changes, but I didn't exactly calculate the amount of miles I was going. I just knew I could go, which was great. It was really fun, but it was also a lot of, oh my God, like, I was telling my girlfriend about all of the fucking health things, like, do not undervalue your potions, your lotions, drops, pills. I get bad ear infections. I would have never thought to pack my eardrops preemptively in, expecting myself to have an ear infection, but boy, did that. That's exactly what happened. And then, like, it was like a fucking shit ton of money out of pocket to get those eardrops, not in Connecticut where my insurance covers it. So pack your medicine cabinet, alcohol, Q-tips. I didn't have a first aid kit. I never really used first aid kits, but could be recommended. Definitely something good to have around. Couldn't hurt when you're hurt already. So what else? So we were in St. Augustine. Our tire popped, and Grant was amazing. And put the new one on in like put the donut on like 10 minutes flat. Which was a headache because obviously our donut lived underneath where we slept, where we piled everything that we have, food, clothes, shower stuff, everyday essentials, that would go from the back to the front and the front to the back, every morning and night. So, we had to like empty the car to get to the donut, we got our Culvers, and then like it was like, okay, well, we should hunker down here and get the new tires in the morning. And we had at that point just started to turn south. We had been coming east on I-10, so we were just about to take that turn south to make the 8-hour trek from northern Florida to southernmost point in Key West. We wanted to kind of revisit that magical place and experience some of our happiest experiences again one more time, see one more sunset, have one more day at the beach. He was even gonna try and work a little bit again, get some extra road money. I knew I wasn't gonna like it because it was gonna be hot, it was gonna be buggy, and I didn't have money anymore to buy fans and bug supplies. So I kind of already knew I wasn't gonna like it. I knew I was tight in cash, especially after I got the 2 new tires. I was only gonna get 1 tire, which I know is really bad for your car. You should always get all 4 if you can. I truly only needed 2, but like I was gonna try and get away with getting 1, but then I knew the second one was gonna end up blowing too. And it was crazy. So I was at Walmart for my second oil change. I noticed the tire bulge. I asked the kid about it. And he's like, yeah, like, it looks like it's bulging, that's kind of regular or whatever. Or, like, looks like it's a little bald, like, it'll probably, you probably need a new one soon. Nowhere did he stop, inspect, and say, like, hey, like, no, like, actually, this tire is about to go. You should get new wheels before your next 2,000-mile trek from New Mexico to fucking Florida. Give or take. So, like, it was crazy. Like, I remember I looked at the tire myself, and, like, the first couple rings of tread that are on the outermost side of the tire, I could see, and, like, they didn't look that off. I did not get down eye level with the tire and see that beyond that, it was completely bald. And, I don't know if you've ever seen this on tire, but on the backside, there was, like, metal spokes poking out. So that tire was busted, literally. And the Nexus, the one that didn't pop yet, it hadn't had that bulge, so I figured, I could probably get some more miles out of it. And, it was really bizarre because sometimes the wheel would shake, like, sometimes it wouldn't. Completely went away. And it's like one of those things my dad has told me so many times is like, vibration in your steering wheel is probably because of your tires. Note to yourselves. Note to myself. So yeah, 2 new tires. We were in St. Augustine. We did a day in Pensacola, and I love Pensacola Beach. Oh my god, Emerald Coast is my favorite thing about Florida. It's so fucking gorgeous. The sand is just like literal sugar. Like, you almost want to eat it. You're walking on it, you just feel like the softest saltiny, like, feel like you're walking across this like exotic place with, like, I was wearing my slippers, so it's like, it's like on like some like trading route for exotic silks and things. I don't, my head goes imaginary places. But the beach was so nice, and the waves were, well, let's see. So actually, that day it was cooler in Pensacola. It was like fucking 50 degrees. The water was pretty cold. But I got to see a tide pool. So there's this Facebook account and YouTube account, All Things Emerald Coast. I'm obsessed with it. And all I wanted to see was that in real life, that one shot that they have of like the tide pools that look like you could sit and swim in them all day. First trip on the Panhandle when we went to New Mexico. We were there, but I didn't get to see the beach in the glory that I wanted to. It was very, the tide was very rough. It actually might have been lower tide. I don't know. I don't remember. I thought low tide would be the time to find them, but I think it's actually high tide. I don't know. But anyways, so, we got to see Pensacola Beach, Gulf Coast. I think, like, so the first time I went to Destin, Miramar, Navarre, I stopped at almost every little beach along the way, like the piers and things. And I was gonna do a little bit more of that on the way back, and I kind of, after Pensacola, like, I was just like, okay, like, I seen it, I had my beach day, it's not that warm here right now. The water was calmer, though. It's just the sands. Oh my god, it's the sand for me. It's always the sand for me.